I picked up two of these 4-digit clocks. I bought them off AliExpress. They're $1.87 each plus shipping. Uh, this is going to be fairly quick because there's lots of videos on this out there, and I'll show you what I'm planning on doing with them. Over at this time is the one that'll be going outside, so I had to weatherproof it. But when you're going to assemble one of these, there's a few things to keep in mind. Okay, this capacitor here, you need the positive in the proper side. Over here, you'll see a picture of this and this. Notch, notch, notch. They all have to line up. The speaker has a positive that goes there. The display needs to go this way with the decimal points down here. This is a common cathode. So what it does is you put power on whichever of the segments you want to light up, and then with another pin you light up that, or you take it to ground, and the ones that have power coming in light up. In the olden days, you would light up one, light up the next, light up the next, light up the next, sequence through them real fast, and it'd all look like it's solid. I think they're doing something slightly different on this one. And then there's this piece here. It's a resistive network picture there, and you need to put it in the proper way. That dot needs to go onto this side here so that it'll work properly. And one of the components, 100 nanofarad capacitor, it was 63 nanofarad. It's a bit out of spec. I'm just going to throw in one of the ones I've got in my bin. At least it's a bit closer, 91. I tend to test everything with transistor, resistor, almost everything tester, just in case there's a bad part. Saves time. So I'm going to do the magic hand wave and have all of this land up onto this board. So when you power this up, it comes up with 1259. You do a long push on the S1. That gets you into the menu. You can then, on menu A, the instructions are over there, set the hour. Push again, you're on B. You can set the minutes. Push again. You can turn the alarms on or off. I'm turning it off. And I'm turning it off. And I'm turning it off. And J. And I think this has something to do with the last second that you can set. Not totally sure. I'll put what instructions I can find over there. So if you want to toggle between hours, minutes, and minutes, seconds, you just push this one quickly. And let's just check something on this one. So, just hooked up the meter. I'm set on milliamps. So this thing is taking 32.5-ish milliamps. So if you hook this up to, as people show, with 4 AA batteries, you're going to be replacing batteries really often. Because even like a really good 2800 milliamp hour, let's see, that would last about 80 hours. So you better be using USB wall wart to power this, or something similar. Otherwise, you're going to be going through batteries real fast. So that's actually a pretty negative thing, since they do show it set up on batteries. And next will be me building the version for outside. So here we go again. This is the second clock, but this clock is going to be mounted outside. And because it's going to be mounted outside, it's going to be coated with silicone conformal coating 422C. If you're buying stuff like this, be very careful and read the instructions on it. This one will dry in ambient air. There's other ones that require UV to cure. So make sure you're buying the type that you want to use. But since this one's going outside, I don't want the speaker. I'm going to be hardwiring the chip in because I'm going to be using that coating. Well, this connector is going to be replaced by wires directly connected. Don't need it. 2 little push buttons. Well, you coat these things and they're not going to work. So what I'm going to do with the push buttons and the power is I'll have 2 cables running up to it. One of the cables, 2 of the wires will go to where the switch would have been. The other 2 go to the other switch, and there will be another cable like this that goes to the power. And that way I can seal this thing up, leave it in place, have the wires run out to another little box, and when I need to actually program it, or not program, set the time, etc., or when the battery gets disconnected, I have to reset things, all I have to do is tap the bare wires together, and it will act just like the switch. So, time to assemble this. And of course, with the resistor array, make sure that this end with a little dot is going in here. And I'll just stop motion put this together since you've already seen it. Okay, I've got it all wired up, populated and wired. 2 of the wires are going to the one switch, 2 of the wires are going to the other switch. I brought them in from the back since this will be mounted like this, with all the wiring going the other way. And I made sure that these 2 parts were below the numbers. Oh, I guess I can take off the screen. So when this is mounted outside, it'll be done like that. Shouldn't stick my fingers on it. Like that. And all the wiring runs back that way. Hence why I had to put it on this side. And I've already programmed the time in, but it just works the same way as the first clock. I just have to touch these wires together to change things, I believe. Okay, these ones for the long set. There we go. There's menu A. Oops. Let's go through the menus. Okay, long set. I make a lousy push button. And then here, I'm just touching them together. And I'll just step through. I've turned off all the alarms because I won't be using them. So the next step on this would be to coat this up. I'm going to have to do that in the garage. I'm pretty sure the missus wouldn't like the smell of the coating. So you can probably see that very nice shiny coating there and back here. And the reason I use the one that doesn't require UV is I flooded this area in here so that all these contacts, everything is covered. That way, when I put this outside, okay, it's not going to last forever, but it will last a fair amount longer. And this piece here goes like that. And I'll pre-drill the holes here. And I'm not sure if this is going to go into the stump or if I'll make something separate so that this is pointing out towards the street. Just trying to be a tiny bit different. Have a good day. Bye.